What's up, everybody? Zero back again with some more gameplay here. These are the same people that I was playing with in my Teamwork is Fun commentary that I put up the other day. We just happened to meet randomly in the middle of the night and grouped up and started playing together and ended up communicating really well. I think we had 4 guys total, and it wasn't as good as a full party would have been, but between 4 people it was enough to have some pretty exciting gameplay. And this one comes out just white knuckle finish on this one, and if it wasn't for the communication, we definitely wouldn't have won this one. So that really says something about rolling with a party and how much more you can accomplish. But today, I'm not really even going to be talking about the gameplay all that much. What I'm going to be talking about today is products geared toward gamers, and kind of my opinion on some of them. Not really anything I'm endorsing, just kind of what I use and things like that, and also kind of how their advertisement is a little bit misleading, and you need to be a little bit wary of things. I mean, first things first, nothing you can ever buy is going to make you a better gamer overall. I mean, improving your gaming skills comes from your head and your hands, and maybe in the case of the guy only use me face, I got respect for that guy because he uses his face instead of his hands on a controller, and he pulls off some really good scores. But for the most part, skill as a gamer is coming from your head and from your hands. The best thing you can do if you want to be a better gamer is learn the maps, learn the lines of sight, learn the traffic routes, and set yourself up for success that way. Playing smarter than the enemy is always the best way. If you can outthink your enemy, you don't even have to rely that much on your hands, because he's going to be the one that's being surprised, and he's going to be the one that doesn't know where he's getting shot from. Second thing you can do is, work on your skills with your hands. Good hand-eye coordination is essential for playing games. I mean, you can see I don't have the greatest hand-eye coordination, and I try to make up with it for positioning myself, aka camping at times. But if you can aim down your sights faster and get on the target faster than your enemy and get the shots off more accurately, then, you're going to win. And that brings me to the first product I was going to talk about. I mean, it's the FPS Freaks. I'm sure everybody sees these advertised. Personally, I can't really speak to them too much because I've never used them myself. But I can see where they could have some application. They can give you a little bit more refined control, a little bit better aiming. Sticks on the Xbox 360 I just don't like all that much at all. And I could see where they'd definitely help if they made it a little bit taller, like the PlayStation stick. Are they going to completely change your game and make you a better gamer? No, but they are going to enhance your hand-eye coordination a little bit. They're going to help you aim, they're going to help you get a little bit more accuracy, and that's what they're intended for. It's never going to magically change your game overnight, but, any little advantage you can get is always going to help. The second product on my list is Gunnar Optics. I saw their advertisements all over the place and everything, and I thought, that could be something handy, especially if it, enhances contrast and relieves eye strain. I know one of my major problems with playing games, if I play for a long time, my eyes get incredibly dry and strained, and I'll come out with just red lines through my eyes from shattered blood vessels, which is really painful and gives me horrible headaches for a couple days. So that was one of the things that I was eager to try and eager to get a hold of, was a pair of their glasses. And when I put them on for the first time, I was pretty impressed. They really did up the contrast. They actually add a little bit of magnification. But then again, they're not going to change your game. I mean, they might allow me to spot people a little bit quicker and add a little bit more contrast, but, so could just upgrading my TV, probably. The main thing that they do is they just let my eyes not get as tired and not get as strained, which I'll take not getting the headaches any day over even the slightest increase in my gameplay. They might add just the slightest little edge, but any little bit counts, and just the slightest little edge might be all it takes to win that next gunfight. For the money, I don't know, I think you could probably get away with just similarly amber-colored lenses from other places. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anything all that special about their lenses or anything like that. But they do have their benefits. It's not just all hype, although I think the game improvement part might be hype. But there is one accessory that's out there that I think really can go a long way to improve your game, and that would be a good headset. And there's many reasons for this. A good headset's going to let you hear the enemy, basically, before they know where you're at. You can hear them reloading, you can hear their footsteps at times, you can hear their voice call-outs whenever they plant a claymore or things like that. It'll give you a heads up a lot of times on an enemy that you never see, but you'll know they're there before they have any clue where you're at. And that is a huge advantage in any gunfight, knowing where your enemy's at before they know where you're at. I can't really name specific advertisement campaigns or anything like that because there's just so many brands out there. Personally, I use the Astro A40s. The reason I use those is really simple reason. It's not because of any advertisement or anything that they have. It's because when I bought my headset, that was the only one I could find that would work with both PlayStation, Xbox, and also work on the computer if I wanted to hook them up that way. I think there's quite a few more now that will do that. And there's always Turtle Beaches, Tritons. I can't even begin to name all the different brands of headsets. I know there's a whole lot of them though. And they all offer the same basic functionality. As long as you got the good surround sound and a good microphone, then you're good to go. And that's the most important part about the headphones. It's not even the hearing, it's the microphone. The microphone's going to allow you to communicate with your team. And communication with your team is vitally important. It's going to add so much more enjoyment to the game that you'd never even know. I was almost ready to quit all Call of Duty games, period, until I started finally getting in parties reliably. Just trying to work with myself with a bunch of people that had no interest in just playing every man for themselves wasn't all that enjoyable. I ended up getting shot in the back constantly, or stabbed in the back, or had teammates flipping spawns, but once I started getting 2 or 3 people in a party with me, the whole thing changed, and the game became a lot more fun, simply because now there was people watching my back. Now if I couldn't get a shot on somebody, I could tell a teammate across the map who had them in their sights, or could just simply turn and shoot them from where they were at. And that made everything way easier. And if it wasn't for communication, I mean, this game would be a total loss. You can see here we're behind now, and we make a pretty spectacular comeback at the end. I don't know if spectacular is necessarily the right word, but it was definitely a very hard-fought comeback. And if the 4 of us hadn't been able to communicate between each other and talk about what we needed to do and come up with a plan, then it never would have happened. So that's why I think headsets are probably the most important accessory you can buy if you're looking for something to improve your gameplay. But like I said before, nothing you can buy is ever going to replace your head and your hands. Those are the most 2 important things you'll ever have when it comes to a game. And I think I had way too much coffee earlier today because I thought this commentary was going to take a lot longer. And I still have about 2 minutes left on this video, so not exactly sure what to talk about now. If you haven't been to my channel page for a while, you might want to check that out. I just got a brand new background tonight. Just out of the blue, a guy from the Huppet forums has made me a background. His name's Effect on the forums, and it's awesome. I'd been debating on getting a background period for it for a long time, and I don't have the artistic skills to do it myself, so that was just an amazing surprise when that happened. So, big shout out to him. Thanks for that. I've been getting kind of unmotivated here lately to even make commentaries just because it doesn't seem like I'm getting any views, and it doesn't seem like my channel's getting found by anyone, so knowing that somebody's found my channel and likes what I'm doing and is willing to give me something cool just for no reason other than that is awesome. I mean, I like doing commentaries on my own just for my own enjoyment, and even if nobody was watching, I'd probably still do it, but knowing that even one person out there enjoys what I'm doing and, you know, appreciates what I'm putting up is just, I don't know, it's a great feeling. And even if one of these days something happens and my channel takes off and I end up getting 300,000 subscribers like White Boy has gotten over the last few days, I think he finally just reached that milestone, I want to keep the same feeling. I want to know that even if it was just one person watching, it would be just as awesome. I think that's one of the problems with the world today. People don't take the time to stop and appreciate what they have and appreciate the steps on the journey to where they're going. They are concerned with the destination and millions of dollars and tons of fans and everything else, where, check this out. I get teleported to the other side of the wall after this host migration. It leaves me standing out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Anyway, I got off track there. Yeah, people just don't appreciate things, and that's something I hope never happens to me. I don't ever want to be a person that doesn't appreciate every single fan that I have, if I ever have a lot of fans. And that's one thing I really like about White Boy 7th Street. I mean, he's just seemingly overnight gone from a small-time commentator to hugely famous, and he seems to be handling it really well. He's still humble about it, and he still seems to appreciate every single fan that he has. And I think his giveaways that he's doing are a good thing. I don't think he has any greed behind it, but a lot of people still accuse him of it. And I think, hey, if you want to give something back to your fans, then way to go. And hopefully one of these days I'll be able to do the same thing. I think I'm going to implement it a little bit differently so as to try to avoid the hate, but hopefully that'll happen. And earlier in the video when I was talking about communication and how we wouldn't have won if we couldn't communicate, this was the example. We calculated it out and knew that we had to triple cap to win the game. So we went for the triple cap and started calling out positions really hard, and eventually we came back and were able to hold it long enough to just barely squeak by and pull out the win here. So, if you like what you see, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up, or a like, or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, and subscribe if you feel like it. Thanks for watching.